Are you on the right path with all the decisions you've been making? Today we're looking at this. Roll it. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Nikos Rentas and this is mentorsapproach.com, where we strive to post videos that will help you move in the right direction. So hit the subscribe button so you can get that idea rolling each and every week, get you moving in the right direction. Are you on the right path? I get this question asked more than not. Nikos, am I on the right path? Nico, what do you think? Is this the right path for me? I thought it was the right path, but I'm not sure it's the right path. What do you think? Is it the right path? Well, Billy, let's analyze what really is happening in your mind. I often say on this channel and in life, if you ever meet me, are you moving in the right direction? Are you heading towards that mission and purpose in life? Now, if you do have a mission and purpose in life, or you don't, we generally need to be moving in some form of direction. Oftentimes, however, there's a misunderstanding on what the path is and the direction is because they sound similar, but the reality is the direction, well, we know it's heading towards somewhere. Where when you're on a path, you don't 100% know what it is. In the next video, I'll explain direction more. In this video, we're gonna focus this idea of being on the right path and what does it really mean. So when you're walking through the steps or trying to complete the goals you've set for yourself, well, you'll be able to zone in on yourself and start feeling good about you being on this path and no one else's. So how does it work? Well, if you don't really know why you're doing something, then you haven't analyzed it enough. And this is critical because we are not observant when we start doing things. We generally start to do things out of emotional want or need from something occurring. It's reactive. We see something and we go, you know what, I could do that. Maybe we liked it, maybe we thought it was cool, maybe we thought, hey, I could be like that person, I got nothing else going for me. So what happens? Well, we start setting goals and we start doing. This is why a lot of the times people will start working out. They'll pick up a camera, they'll go take pictures, maybe go into video. Maybe they'll go start fixing computers, go do whatever thing you think they will do because they see some attraction to it. Their interest level peaks and off they go. However, the path they're on, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna take them somewhere unless they start looking at it from a perspective of opportunity. What can I really do with this long term? And what do I need to do in order to sustain myself doing this? Most times people who are asking, am I on the right path? Well, it's because they're heading towards somewhere. They know it feels right. They know they like doing it, but they don't know if they can sustain themselves doing it long term. This is critical to really put into perspective. Because if you're making decisions on an emotional level only, well, the rational side, it ain't happening. So you're not actually making decisions that will help you sustain yourself long term on something you've been doing. Now, how do we really look at this and how do we understand this so that we can analyze what's happening now with us, if we're on the right path or not, and how can we relate it to direction and a purpose down the road? Well, one, it's ask yourself, why did you start doing what you're doing? Why did you set these goals? Why did you feel this urge? Where did it come from? Was it from the person now, that emotional self right now, knowing that this feels good for them right now? Or was it that superhero down the road who goes, I can do that? And is that how you set that goal? Number two, was there any rational thought process to what you were doing? Did you just go drop like, 20 grand on camera gear thinking you can be the next guru on YouTube? Or did you rationally think it through and go buy the cheapest camera and start making YouTube videos? Was the rational side present alongside the emotional? And in these decisions, who was winning? Thirdly, Are there opportunities in what you're doing? Have you explored them all? Are you looking at other people and wondering how you can get there and why you're not having opportunities? If you are, then great. Go after those opportunities and see where they lead you. Follow your gut, because this is what's occurring. You're going, and in every decision, you're going with your gut. This is what's going on, and you're moving in accordance to it. And if things are working well, then your gut's going, yeah, let's keep going, and then you start increasing your risk. But the risk tolerance with how things are actually working out will flip-flop. And again, where you see increases in tolerance and then you see decreases in tolerance, you'll see the increases or the decreases in the risk you're taking, which means more or less opportunities will come from it. And thus, your path will either lead you to somewhere where you can find meaning in and then start to connect the dots of what you need to be doing, that direction, or you won't go anywhere with it, and eventually anything you started doing will become too hard, too time consuming, and then all of a sudden left off the side with you not even thinking about it again, and more than likely a regret will form from it. Now, the final step here is asking yourself, of everything I'm doing and of everything I am trying to do as I progress, can I start envisioning myself in the future, and how? Most of the times this relates to money or some other form of success, but usually I say money because you need to sustain yourself in whatever you're doing. And if you can't sustain yourself, well, then it's just a hobby and you're not actually doing anything with it but participating in something you enjoy, which is totally fine. This is totally fine. It just means you have to find something else to make it your eventual purpose. Now, all of this won't work unless you're centered. You're feeling centered with yourself. Mind, body, this whole idea of soul being connected, knowing that you're meant to be doing what you're doing. And you can only do this if your emotions and the rational thoughts are congruent. They're sitting together going, hey, this is working out. And you feel it inside that this is right. And if it's not right, well, then you need to change some things. And maybe your path is this, however, there's certain things that you're not comfortable with that need to change. Now, this whole thing takes time. It's not done overnight. Do not lose scope of where you are starting to shape up your mind of where you want to be. Being on a path signifies growth, and it signifies the opportunity of you to be aware of who you are right now, not in the future, but right now. And then what you need to do to become that person in the future. Being on a path helps us find that direction and that mission and purpose we're all looking for. This applies to all areas of our lives. It applies to our businesses, whether you start one or you're ending one, or you're kind of like going, where am I with this and how can I change it to make it better, or a career, changing jobs, changing careers altogether, family, friends, and of course, relationships, starting a new one or ending one that may not be needed right now on the path you're on. These are all incredibly difficult things to do, but it's growth that is occurring. It's growth, and it's big changing growth. Don't forget that. So whatever you're doing right now, really look at it from an eagle-eye view. Ask and go through the questions in these steps in a non-biased way. Write everything down, review it, take a couple weeks on it, so that you can really focus on balancing the rational thoughts and those emotions, and all of a sudden that path will make sense, and eventually you'll start moving in the right direction. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is MentorsApproach.com. Hit that like button, of course hit the subscribe button, and share this with anybody that you think needs to hear the message. Leave your comment below, leave your story, the pros and cons of what you've experienced, because who knows, somebody might be reading your comment after watching this video, or maybe watching, 30 seconds to a minute of it, and who knows, you might help change our life.